Welcome to my channel, Codeforce Chronicles. Today I will be taking you through a session that is asynchronous process. When it comes to Apex, it is asynchronous Apex which comes into picture as a solution. And today I will be taking you through the practical training and real use cases where I have tagged a trailhead challenge. Before we begin, I want you to answer this question. What is asynchronous apex? Asynchronous apex comes into picture as a improved solution or a synchronous transaction. When it comes to our context, that is large data handling and the seniority in the process. Callouts are the only way to operate the long running background. That is, when we run the Apex code, it is useful for callouts. But in the backend, it is REST API which is used. When it comes to the improved solution, it is offloading heavy processes. This question can come as an interview question. That is, callouts are the only way to bring in solutions or the synchronous transactions. And the answer is it prevents hitting the governor limits during the synchronous transactions, but it is useful for long running operations. When it comes to our session, that is my seminar, which is on 9th of August 2025 between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. I want all of you to go through this topic and attend the session with the thought that the code is the only way to be in the making. But when it comes to our callouts, that is the API callouts along with the testing tool, that is the Postman or any other tool, where we have to insert the piece of code, that is either using get, post, or when it comes to push, you have to use a third-party integration tool like the API configuration based on the use case. When it comes to future methods, there is a use case which we will discuss. Send an email or make a call out after DNL operation. That is when we have a lightweight asynchronous operation without chaining. That means when we use the call, that is future example as an context. But when we test the solution, that is by providing an email to the first call, that is the execute in the future methods. Then we call the errors by debugging it. So when we have to attend an interview like Capgemini, TCS, Tech Mahindra, I feel this question will be as a question which will be asked. Like, is this example which is quoted in our scenario, that is sending an email related to the asynchronous operation, your answer should be relatable. That is, future method is the example to send an email when we test it as a formality. And it comes to the formalities which are used in the Queueable Apex, which is the next part of the use case where we handle complex logic. The use case which I'm going to take you through is handling more complex logic than add future method, which is a queueable process. Supporting the chaining process when it comes to a custom object is system.enqueue job, where we have to write the syntax according to the support, that is chaining in the custom object, and future cases should be handled in ServiceNow, which is under process in the latest update, where we have to support the theme by using the context variables like the ones which we use when we call an apex or a trigger, and we process it according to the complex logic, that is the asynchronous process, which is logistic and which has a ticket which is raised. And when it comes to ServiceNow with ChatGPT or the agent force which we have used, and I urge everybody to use ChatGPT when it comes to the learning of validation or the errors which comes into picture as a code, and we have to make it a point to learn everything. When it comes to learning the concepts, I want you to go through my previous YouTube videos, especially my previous seminar, which was into triggers and handling the errors. We have to call the methods by using the use case, and when we communicate the components, that is the parent and child when it comes to LWC, and the queueable process when it comes to Apex, batch class, or the asynchronous Apex flow, the order of execution should be taken into consideration as a enqueue job. That means when a system runs the code, it is a job which will be taken into consideration, but it will be executed after some time. Batch Apex has many relatable database. When it comes to the reporting of the operation, this use case is the best when it comes to handling 50,000 or more records. When it comes to the record or the callouts, that is the database and execute batch, we have to call the batch by using the number, either 200 or any other formality like the formalized streamlined process. And the reporting mitigation should be under migration, and data operation comes into picture as a articulated progression. When it comes to the reporting tool, which we can consider in an Apex batch, that is the execute operation, and it is under the operator which is if or if else. And when we execute it in the finish method, which my mentor had taught me to execute it according to the queueable process, which comes into picture as a database and context variable. I urge everybody to talk to your managers when it comes to the case, that is to call the Apex batch if it has large operations. I want everybody to understand that reporting and mitigation or the migration operator, which is used as if or if else, when it comes to the main operation, you should use for each and then execute the batch process or the process which is included in the itinerary. Thank you so much for being part of my life. I want everybody to tag your comments in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel and share this video and be part of my seminar, which is on 9th. Thank you so much. Have a great day.